Hello and welcome to the LCTV News. I'm Mukala Kabongo. In this edition of the LCTV News, Mayor McGee visits Lynn English, Girls, Troops, and Lynn, March of the Flags, sit down with Lynn Cultural Council, and more. Mayor McGee visited Lynn English High Thursday morning as part of his Lynn Public Schools tour. Throughout the school year, Mayor McGee visits numerous schools in the city of Lynn with a guided tour from a faculty member. Lynn English Principal Thomas Strangey took the mayor on a tour of the building, dropping in on classes that were in session, as well as a look at the new banners hanging in the Thomas F. Cavanagh Fieldhouse. Open enrollment for the first Girls Boy Scouts of America troop in Lynn is set to begin on Monday, October 7th and 21st at the Knights of Columbus. The open enrollment is open to any girls who are currently in the 6th grade and higher. Girls who enroll in the girls troop will learn outdoor skills, earn volunteer hours, be a leader in their community, as well as garner friendships that last a lifetime. With the impending closure of Union Hospital's emergency room on November 3rd, there is major concern for the city's responders. Fire officials are concerned with how emergency services in the city will be delivered. The service has already had a negative effect due to the planned closure. A day after the scheduled closure of the emergency room, the city's emergency department is set to be converted into an urgent care center that is scheduled to stay open until May. Residents in Ward 1 will be strongly affected by the closure of the emergency room. No longer will they have access to a hospital, and it will make difficult for residents to get services. Residents will now have to travel to Salem Hospital for medical services. Also, there's concerns that it will take emergency responders much longer to get to residents in Ward 1. Lynn City Council on Tuesday voted to have the city's legal department send the city of Salem a letter informing them of the closure, which is happening sooner than expected, and are asking for some solutions to mitigate traffic on Highland Ave. Now for the police update. 2 brothers have been convicted of second-degree murder after brutally beating a man to death and severely injuring another man 2 years ago outside of Monroe Street restaurant. Warner Garcia and Selvin Garcia were found guilty of murder as well as assault and battery by jurors on Wednesday. Garcia and Figueroa were sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 20 years. Last Friday, a man was reportedly shot in the head in downtown Lynn. The shooting occurred around 3:30 p.m. A police scanner said a male victim suffered a grazing bullet to the side of his head. According to the captain of detectives, Mark O'Toole, police arrived on the corner of Silsby and French Street where they found a male on the ground with a gunshot wound to the head. The victim is said to have non-life-threatening injuries. He was taken to Massachusetts General Hospital. Lynn Police are still searching for the suspect, who is said to have been wearing a red shirt with the number 10 on the back. Anyone with information on the shooting should contact the Lynn Police tip line. Sunday night, a Lynn man was shot twice outside of his apartment building on Oakwood Avenue. Approximately before 9:30 p.m., Lynn Police and Fire Department responded to the shooting, where they found a 21-year-old man near a dumpster with a gunshot wound. The man, who is yet to be identified, was taken to Mass General Hospital with serious injuries. His condition is not yet known. After 3 days of deliberation, jurors found William Cash guilty of second-degree murder. Cash, who was on trial for the Easter Sunday shooting that took place 2 years ago in downtown Lynn, where he killed Leonard Clement and injured Prince Bellin. Additionally, Cash was convicted of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, causing serious bodily harm, human trafficking, and a plethora of gun and assault charges. Cash is facing life in prison on Monday, September 30th. Judge Timothy Feely will impose his sentence. Galleries at Lynn Arts held its plein air painting event outside of Lynn Museum, and LCTV was on the scene. Galleries of arts artists gathered outside the Lynn Museum for their plein air excursion.
So today we're out doing some plein air work. We have some photographers, we have some painters, we have some people who are just doing some sketches, just kind of downtown Lynn and the beauty that it has.
The Plein Air excursion is part of the Trails and Sails events happening throughout the city of Lynn.
This is just sort of an event that highlights Essex County, the beauty of natural Essex County and the history of Essex County, which is perfect for the Trails and Sails event. And then it also obviously corresponded with our Plein Air show, so they sort of fit together nicely.
Artists who participate in the Plein Air excursion are able to capture the beauty of a city no matter the weather.
Plein air is one of those art forms that a lot of people, you have to sort of hope and cross your fingers that things are going to work out for you. And there's definitely those painters that go out despite the weather, and there's those people who work in their cars right now. So we're very fortunate. It's a beautiful day outside.
The Lynn Museum was one of many locations that the Gallery of Arts artists gathered for their Plein Air excursions throughout the summer.
For this event, we'll stay at the museum. Usually we try to do 3 to 4 hours at a location. We had done a plein air event during the Rock the Block for Beyond Walls as well. So we had painted, I think, from 3 until 6 that day. At the Red Rock, we had done from 9 in the morning till 11 in the morning. So we try to do a nice chunk of time at a time so you can kind of get a good idea of where the sun is and sort of that moment in time wherever you're working.
The second annual Grand Army of the Republic March of the Flags took place this weekend, and LCTV sent a crew to the museum for the ceremony.
And protection in that you did lead us in the days that were shadowed with trouble, and gave us strength when the burden was heavy upon us, and gave us courage and guidance, so that after the conflict, we have come to these days of peace within our country. We thank you that the wrath of the war has been stilled among us. Brother no longer strives against brother, that once again we have one country and one flag. May your blessing be upon us as people, that we may be your people, true and righteous in all our ways, tender and patient in our charity, though resolute for the right, careful more for the downtrodden than ourselves, eager to forward the interest of every citizen throughout the land, so that our country may indeed be one country from the rivers to the seas, from the mountains to the plains. We pray you make our memories steadfast, that we may never forget the generous sacrifice made for our country.
LCTV sent a crew to Breed Middle School for the Muslim Speaker Series. Here is more from the series.
Segment of our presentation here is going to be the showing of a brief documentary, and I think the technicians are still doing the work. We're going to probably hopefully dim the lights so we can see this better. So as I said earlier, this is a documentary about the Rohingya crisis, the refugee camps in Bangladesh, the overflows from the country of Myanmar, the plight of the Muslim Rohingya people. And Nasser Alam, our founder of our foundation, has taken several trips to this area, and she produced 2 documentaries, and we're going to show one of them this afternoon. Lee, are you ready? Yes? Okay.
Enak tuh gue Tedoje baraware tinanda sare red gore minute je kore lojabo
musal mujhe beshi bolun mujhe mainly আমরা ন্যাশনাল ইন্টারভিউলে চাই
Too young to face the uncertainty and cruel reality of life. She is supposed to take breath under the open sky, to enjoy her childhood in her native land without any fear, but she is spending her days in agony in the Balu Kali refugee camp. 3 meals a day, sleeping under a roof, and growing up in peaceful conditions have become a major challenge for her life. Such uncertainty could not snatch away the joy of childhood completely. They are the Rohingya children who came from Myanmar's Rakhine state. The Naf River between Bangladesh and Myanmar is a witness of countless oppression. The citizens of the Rakhine state were brutally murdered and tortured by the Myanmar government forces. There is a long history of persecution of Myanmar's Rohingya, but the latest wave of violence in the Rakhine state breaks all previous records. Huge clouds of smoke in Myanmar's Rakhine state are clearly seen from the Bangladeshi border. Entire villages were burned to the ground, with the air filled with screams of its victims.
LCTV was on location at High Rock Tower on Saturday for the World Music Festival.
So we're trying to why do we bring the history into a music festival? Did you ever ask that question? She did. I don't see you nodding your head. Because first of all, they were singers. Frederick Douglass had 4 violins, and he played violin, and he sang songs about emancipation with these folks, and they traveled all over the United States. So we'll tell you the story. The story is being told right up the hill in those posters. Okay, so that's very important to know that, because they're heroes. They're heroes of a lot of people, and we need to pass this knowledge on to the young people so they fight for change. They fight to bring everybody together, because there's a lot of ethnic hatred is going on in this country. We know that, and we're trying to bring everybody under one tent, because we have Jewish music coming in. I was raised Jewish. Nobody knows what that sounds like. We have African music. Only Africans know what it sounds like. We have Haitian music. Nobody knows but Haitians what that sounds like, right? Rah-rah. Anybody ever hear rah-rah music? Aha. Folk music from Haiti. And we have people from many, many countries come here. We had Irish band that sang songs of the Irish rebellion against the British in 1917. And they sang in Gaelic. How's that? Beautiful. So we know we're trying to represent all the people who now live in Lynn and make up the great melting pot that America is. You know what melting pot means, right?
Now for a weather update with meteorologist Justin Perry.
Happy Friday. Today is September 27th, 2019, the first Friday of fall, and I'm meteorologist Justin Perry reporting for Lynn Community Television. We continue in a rather boring pattern for meteorologists, but for the rest of you, this is truly an awesome stretch of late summer and early fall weather. In fact, for the Boston area, we are about 1 inch below normal for rainfall in September and about 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit above normal for temperatures for the month. We have certainly been experiencing a warm and dry pattern. So what can we expect for this upcoming week? Let's look at the headlines. Our headlines for the next week feature a period of cool weather on Sunday and Monday, and then a return to warmth by the middle of next week. Looking at the big picture, our pattern map shows something very similar. A large high-pressure area centered near or over the eastern seaboard of the United States, and the flow around that high-pressure system is clockwise, so in New England we'll see west winds or southwest winds thanks to this setup. Now this high pressure will move around a little bit along the East Coast, and it'll start to drift actually more southwest over the next few days. So until it gets into this position on the map, we'll see some cooler weather, and then it will warm up as we get towards the middle of next week. So as a result, we're going to see some fluctuations in temperatures during the next 7 days, but very little rain is likely. So let's look at the details on our 7-day forecast. Today we have sunny skies and beautiful temperatures with temperatures in the 70s. Tomorrow, sunny and warm with temperatures in the low 80s. A cold front will come through the region at night with a wind shift to the northwest, and that'll bring in much cooler air. So for Sunday, it's another nice day, but cooler, high around 72 with partly cloudy skies. And then on Monday, that high pressure system begins to drift to our southwest, but this causes northeast winds to develop over the region, so temperatures will struggle to get out of the mid-60s. Partly cloudy skies and onshore winds will remind us that we are actually in fall now. On Tuesday, we begin the warming trend as a warm front will actually slide up over the region, and this warm front could be accompanied by some rain showers during the morning and early afternoon. Clearing skies will take place later in the afternoon, and that's when temperatures will jump into the low 70s. So the second half of Tuesday actually looks pretty good. On Wednesday, the heat returns as that high pressure grabs some heat from the Midwest and then sends it towards New England. Humidity will come along with that as well. We'll see some temperatures in the upper 80s. A cold front will be crossing the region late in the day, so we have to consider thunderstorms, and perhaps some of those could be strong for Wednesday afternoon and night. On Thursday, it's a tough call from 6 to 7 days out. Some models are showing that the heat will be slow to move out, while other models move it out more quickly and cooler air comes in. So the European model suggests that the front will get through here on Wednesday, and then therefore Thursday will be colder. So at this point, I'll go with the Euro and show some high temperatures in the 60s. But there is a low chance that Thursday could be hot with storms as well. For now, let's just plan on a cool day for next Thursday, but keep in mind that there is some uncertainty in the forecast from this far in advance. Well, that's your 7-day forecast. Tune in next week for an updated North Shore Weather Service forecast. And for Lynn Community Television, I'm Meteorologist Justin Perry. Enjoy the beautiful weather and see you next week.
Now for some sports updates. On Thursday Night Football, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Green Bay Packers 34-27 at Lambeau Field. Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz tossed 3 touchdowns, and running back Jordan Howard added 2 rushing touchdowns to end the game. The Eagles defense, who were maligned for most of the game, forced 2 turnovers and denied the Packers twice in the red zone in the fourth quarter, including the game-winning interception at the 1-yard line. The Eagles moved to 2-2 on the season and will face off against the New York Jets on October 6. As for the Green Bay Packers, they will look to bounce back as they travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys on October 6. The Lynn English Bulldog soccer team remained undefeated after their 2-1 victory over Marblehead at Piper Field on Wednesday. Louis Alman and Bruno Cabral each scored for the Bulldogs. Goalkeeper Jack Mancaniello came up big for the Bulldogs, making crucial saves after crucial saves to help the Bulldogs hold on to the 1-goal victory. The Bulldogs also scored a victory over Danvers Monday at Manning Field. English shut out Danvers 3-0 and remain on top of the Northeastern Conference. The Bulldogs look to remain undefeated as they take on Peabody this afternoon. The Lady Bulldogs have fallen to 2-6-1 on the season after being shut out by Marblehead 3-0 at Manning Field. The Lady Bulldogs look to get back in the winning column as they travel to Peabody on Friday afternoon. Lynn Classical Lady Rams fell to Peabody 5-0 on Wednesday. The Lady Rams are now 1-6-2 and will take the field again next week. Lynn English football team are 1-1 on the season after their 21-7 loss to Beverly this past Saturday. The Panthers jumped to a 14-0 lead after running back Maje Mulumba broke off a 63-yard touchdown run and added a 79-yard punt return for a touchdown. English will put together a touchdown drive right before the half after quarterback Matthias Fowler connected with Jesse O'Fury on a 19-yard touchdown pass to make it 14-7. Mulumba would add a 6-yard touchdown run to open the second half to make it 21-7. English's offense would not score in the second half. The Bulldogs look to bounce back Friday as they travel to Salem. Lynn Tech Tigers are now 2-1 on the season after their 56-0 rout of Minuteman at Manning Field last week. The Tigers scored 4 times in the first quarter to take a 27-0 lead after the first quarter. Hadir Badwawi scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game. The first was a 12-yard touchdown run in the first, followed by an 8-yard touchdown run. Tech would score on a scoop and score by Carlos Mateo on a blocked punt. Gabriel Perez added a 30-yard touchdown run to stretch the lead to 27-0. Quarterback Luis Pinero connected with Miguel Soto on a 65-yard touchdown toss in the third quarter to extend the lead to 48-0. The Tigers are back on the field tonight at 7 p.m. at Manning Field as they take on Mystic Valley. Classical Rams football fell to Danvers 44-22 in their NEC opener at Dr. Deering Stadium last Friday. Daniel Gisona led the Rams to 2 scoring drives in the first and second quarters. Danvers scored on their first 2 drives of the game. The first came after Chase Erie scored after a 9-play drive. The game was close for most of the first half. The score was 15-7 before the Falcons closed the first half with back-to-back touchdown drives that made the score 30-7. The Falcons would never relinquish the lead and seal the victory. Classical visits Revere tonight. The St. Mary Spartans are now 3-0 on the season after their 36-0 victory over South Boston. Running back Sal Afflito led the way for the Spartans. Afflito broke off touchdown runs of 20 yards, which followed by a 51-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Derek O'Leary. George Percy, David Brown, and Derek Colonges all scored their first career touchdowns in the rout. Next up for the Spartans is a Catholic Central League matchup against Cardinal Spellman. The Boston College Eagles got back in the win column after their 30-16 victory over Rutgers this past Saturday. Running back A.J. Dillon had a big game for the Eagles, rushing for 150 yards on 32 carries and added 2 touchdowns. The Eagles look to go 2-0 in ACC play this Saturday as they take on Wake Forest at Chestnut Hill. The WNBA Finals is all set as the Connecticut Sun take on the Washington Mystics. The Mystics defeated the Las Vegas Aces 3-1 to make a return trip to the finals. The Aces swept the Los Angeles Sparks 3-0. This will be the Aces' first ever trip to the WNBA Finals. Game 1 is on Sunday. Tip-off is at 3 p.m. On the Lynn Lowdown, we sat down with Sunil Gulab and Tia Cole of the Lynn Cultural Council. Here is this week's Lowdown. Welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. We host Mukala Kabongo. We have some special guests. They got some applications due that they need everyone that's interested in applying to apply. So we got Tia, and I don't want to mispronounce his name, so I'm going to let him introduce himself. Sunil. That's so easy, but some of us have a name pronunciation. We don't want to mess people's names up. How you guys doing?
We're good. Thank you for having us.
All right, so how's your week going?
It's been busy. We had our informal Q&A at the Brickyard last night to introduce Cultural Council grants to the community.
Yeah. So talk to me about this application that you guys got happening right now that you guys are encouraging organizations to apply. Just tell me the details of it.
Sure. So this is public funding that comes from the city and the state. And since it's the people's money, we have the honor of dishing it out as fairly as we think appropriate. The deadline is October 15th, but we encourage anyone and everyone, or well, Lynn residents, those who've been here for at least a year, to apply. We look for as diverse a pool of applicants as we can get. And you know, if you walk around the city, especially in the summertime, and go to concerts or movies or anything fun, arts, music, and much more than that, chances are the funding is coming from us, from the Lynn Cultural Council. So we know that Lynn is a diverse city, and there's a lot of strength in that. So we are trying to get the word out to as many people, as many different groups of people. There might be people speaking different languages who we may not be able to touch, but we encourage anyone and everyone to let everyone else know that, hey, you know, if you have a really cool project, there is a source of funding. We look very, very kindly on first-time applicants. So don't be intimidated. There are some rules that we follow. However, you know, if you need hand-holding or help in the process, we're more than happy to do that.
In the past, what led you guys to start this, to try to get some of these diverse groups to apply and just to help them out?
So the funding's handed down, and this was all built around the Mass Cultural Council's funding that they get. And this year it's been increased by a good amount because of some great lobbying that's been done for arts and culture. And in the past, Sunil and I are brand new members to the committee, and if you want to join, please reach out. We learned that the previous applicants tend to be the same people over and over again, and we kind of thought maybe we're drawing from the same pool, and there's got to be something here that we're missing, or who are we not we not reaching out to, because there's, you know, so many festivals and events that are happening in our city. We have so many great community organizers and leaders, and I'm not always seeing their names come in when these grants are being applied. So if you are a community organizer, if you're an artist, if you're any kind of artist, music, dance, performance, visual arts, any kind of culture, history, that kind of stuff, we want to see you come and ask for some cash, man. We got it. And one really cool thing that I just want to throw out there is that because we are such a diverse city, the Mass Cultural Council has Lynn as one of the 6 pilot programs where we give the money up front. So normally with a grant, you have to spend your own money first, and then they reimburse you. But in Lynn, we are able to give you the money to actually host your event.
And I read that when the winners, they have to report something to you guys, like.
Yeah, you pretty much just have to tell us you spent the money.
And like how you spent it in.
Yeah, you have to make sure that, like, if all your like publications have like the Lynn logo, the Lynn Cultural Council logo, and you have to send in your receipts, and that's pretty much it. You can write a little description of how it went or whatever, but it's probably one of the easiest grant applications you can do, and the easiest follow-up, like to pass in your paperwork. There's a lot of really complicated things out there, but this is.
And the proof to that is that we do get people who apply over and over and over again, because it is so easy.
And that doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt if it's that simple. Where in the past winners, what were some of the things that they've done with the funding that?
So the one I think that brings the biggest crowd is the Friends of Lynn Beach, Lynn and Nahant Beach. They have a summer concert where I think for 8 weeks they bring in different bands from around the area, and you know, up to 300-400 people will go to Red Rock Park and listen to music on Thursday nights. But you know, that might be a big thing to put together. An easy and simple one is a gentleman who plays music for Lynn seniors. It's a one-man show, and he put in an application. We went to his website and listened to his music, and just to make sure that he's the real deal, and he gets to play for a few hundred seniors. But it's the whole shebang. Not to say that we favor one over the other. We do have a diverse set of applicants, but it can be more.
We awarded over 60 grants last year.
Yep.
So we can't always fully fund everything, but we try to do a good partial amount. So we may not be able to do your whole project, but we'll try and give you that little extra cushion so that when you can go out and fundraise, you have that to work off of.
Yeah, definitely. Now where do they go to apply? Where do they go to apply for this grant?
So you can find the Lynn Cultural Council on the city website. There's links there, but you can also go to mass-culture.org/Lynn. So it's a little complicated, but you can find us on Facebook, and there's a link in there. And if you can't find it, you can email us at lynnculturalcouncil@gmail.com. No one should ever hesitate to, send a Facebook message. Coco will reply.
Within minutes.
And so when you guys get the pool of applicants, how do you guys sort it out to see? How is there do you guys all sit in a room and just read through everything and try to figure out?
We have public
which one's the
meetings,
best?
so if you ever want to see, feel free to come by.
But in those public meetings, we have already not screened, but we've looked at the pool, so each person will get, I think I got 10 applicants last year, and we've rated them or graded them. And if anyone is missing any information, the members will contact them.
And we, as a cultural council, designate certain priorities every year. So you have to meet criteria. You have to make sure that you have a place to do it. You have to help me out here, Sunil.
You have to involve the population of Lynn.
Okay.
So other cities have their own funding, but ours is specifically for Lynn. We do fund projects on the North Shore, but projects that people from Lynn would go to.
Okay.
We determine that. Sorry.
It's okay.
A little brain dead moment.
Sorry. Priorities. The biggest making sure that you're servicing a large amount of people is always a huge thing.
First-timers.
We love first-timers.
Get a higher priority.
Again, we don't want to keep drawing from the same pool.
Multiple sources of funding.
That's helpful because we want to know that you're partnering and you're not just going to, say, oh, you know what, I can't do this now because I didn't get enough money, and that money goes to waste because that could have been given to someone else.
And also established groups. So if there's a website, we can check on people.
Okay. So you guys,
we do our due diligence.
Yeah, you guys have many ways to vet all the applicants. Well, lastly, before you go, one more time, tell them the application deadline and if they want to apply, where to go.
Okay, October 15th is the application deadline and website.
It's mass-culture.org/Lynn.
There you go. Make sure you apply too. It's October 15th is a couple weeks away, so apply for that if you want some easy money. All right. I want to thank them. You guys been watching the Lynn Lowdown. We are out of here. It's cold in here, man. And now for some upcoming local events. The Food Project's mobile market will take place today from 1 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. at Ford Elementary School. Fresh produce will be available for residents to purchase. This will be the second mobile market of the month. Today, from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m., the Salvation Army will be hosting an addiction support group on Franklin Street in Lynn. The support group is a celebration of recovery with a biblical and balanced program and support group for all struggling with any addictive behaviors or habits. On Saturday, September 28th, the Greater Bethlehem Temple Pentecostal Church will be hosting a free community day event on Euclid Ave from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Free clothes, toys, snacks, and games will be available. Celebrate National Recovery Month will take place at Ironbound this Saturday from 12 p.m. until 3 p.m. Face painting, music, food, chucks, and family fun will be some of the highlights during the jam-packed celebration. The Wyoma Little League will be hosting their cornhole tournament for their Little League at Greater Woods Road Field. Registration begins at 3 p.m. and games begin at 4 p.m. The Pine Grove Cemetery Tours continues this weekend from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Sunday. This Sunday, the cemetery tour will cover the Civil War and Spanish-American War, burial grounds, as well as Lynn luminaries and cemetery wall myths and truths. On Monday, September 30th, LCTV will host its second annual video game night, featuring Mario Kart Deluxe, board games, and much more. This is a free and open event for the public and will go on from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. The MBTA public meeting will take place at the City Council chambers on Tuesday from 6:30 p.m. until 8 p.m. The purpose for the meeting is to discuss additional buses being put into service as part of the Better Bus Project. On Wednesday, October 2nd, Pathways, Inc. will host their Power of Adult Education breakfast from 8 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. at the Clock Tower. The breakfast will showcase Pathways, Inc.'s accomplishments throughout the year. The Lynn Community Association will hold their second candidate forum at the Masjid As-Salam Mosque on Wednesday, October 2nd from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. The candidate forum will focus on the race for Counselor at Large. LCTV's next Paramount film series will take place on Monday, October 21st. The movie choice for October is The Exorcist. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Movie begins at 7 p.m. Free popcorn and beverages will be available. Thank you for watching the LCTV News. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us at lyntv.org to watch any show anytime on your computer, tablet, or phone. I'm Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day.